This is your last show for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, technically, this is pretty much the last big show we'll do in North America this year, and we're going to take about a month off, and then we have a few things up our sleeve, which actually will happen in Vancouver, but I can't tell you what it is yet. And then we're going to head to India at the end of November, and then over to New Zealand and Australia with Jack Johnson. But we do have a month off, and I'm so excited. I'm like so itchy today. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and know that we're done for a month.
Yeah. What's been the most memorable moment this year for you guys?
This has been a big year for us, so it would be really challenging to narrow it down. I mean, standouts for sure, the Canadian tour was remarkable. It was certainly the biggest tour of our career. We got to play Massey Hall, which was amazing, and in Toronto, of course. And then we just actually finished a really great tour in the U.S. We had done our own headline tour, which was really terrific, but we just went out and supported Paramore in the U.S., and we did about 2 months with them, and that was really great. We hadn't supported a band in a long time, and it was a big challenge. And I'm feeling like we just came out of like a boot camp or something.
What did you guys do for your 30th birthday party?
Well, it was the last day of the Paramore tour, so we were in Anaheim, California, so we got to play. I mean, it was the biggest show of the tour. You know, I think there was like 12,000 people, so that was really cool. And our best friends from high school flew in and surprised us, which nearly killed us, the shock of that. And my mom came down, and so we got to do that. And then the next morning, we flew at like 8 in the morning to Toronto for the Polaris Music Prize, which was awesome because all the bands that were nominated played. So it was basically like we went to the most amazing concert you've ever been to. And then we flew home, and now we're playing Malkin Bowl, which has been pretty much one of my favorite venues in Vancouver for the last 10 years. And then tomorrow we're throwing a gigantic birthday party, and friends and family are flying in from all over the country. So I'd say it was like birthday week.
Yeah.
It feels like birthday week. It feels like birthday century at this point, but when will it end? Yeah.
So best or worst birthday gift, or gift in general, you have ever received?
Oh boy. I mean, that's really hard on both ends. I mean, we have really wonderful people in our lives. A lot of people pride themselves on being great gift givers in our family and in our friend circle, but so bad or good is really hard for me. But I will say to follow up on Tegan's comment about what we did on our birthday, our best friends flew in and surprised us, and I was shocked. It was the day before our birthday, and we were just hanging out backstage in San Diego. Like, my mom and I were just talking and whatever, and they just rolled in there, and I nearly fainted. All the blood rushed from my head. I had like a flight or fight response, and I just couldn't believe like that they were there. Yeah. It just totally shocked me. So it was probably one of the best gifts we've ever gotten, because it was human beings, and they are so sweet, and they really scared the hell out of me. Beings. They scared me. No, we do not.
Huh? Sarah, you're being really nice. Tegan, what's the worst gift you've ever received?
All right, straight up. Part of the reason why I encourage people not to get me presents is because I don't like knickknacks. My house is as close to sterile as you can get while still giving off a lot of warmth. It's still a really nice house and it's cozy, but Sarah and I have basically grown up in hotels. You know, we've spent the last 12 years staying in hotels or staying in tour buses, so everything is extremely like economical, and it's like only the necessary stuff should be there. So this is the way I am now. So I think the worst gifts are all collected in what I call my knickknack area. Yeah. And I'm a Virgo and I'm OCD, so I actually have an area in my house that I refer to as the knickknack area, and I can tell you a story about each thing in my knickknack area and where I got it from. And when people come over, I'll be like, oh, hey, by the way, I put that thing you gave me, it's up there in the knickknack area. And I think people really appreciate that I keep it, and now it's like a joke. Now my friends get me knickknacks because they think that it's funny, but I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of space in the knickknack area, because there can't be 2 spaces. Yeah. So
look for the Tegan and Sara knickknack promotion coming soon on the website.
Knickknacks for everyone.
Okay, North Shore video. You guys are rocking out in what would be, say, your bedroom when you're younger. Yeah. Which leads me to ask the question, what do your bedrooms look like now?
I can't tell you that. I'll tell you. My bedroom is pretty sparse. The knickknack area is as far away from my bedroom as you can get, because my body gets tense when I see the knickknack area. We're both pretty basic. We have, really nice spaces that are warm and have good feeling, but they don't look anything like that bedroom in the video. No, there's no photos of ourselves in our bedrooms. I assure you. I've seen Sarah's bedroom. There's no photos of herself. I don't even put like a photo of me and my girlfriend in my bedroom. Like, to me, that's weird when I go over to people's houses. No offense to people listening here, but if I go over to your house and there's a picture of you and your boyfriend or you and your girlfriend next to your bed, weird. Yeah. You want to lay in bed and be like, there I am.
One other post I noticed on your Twitter page was about the program called It Gets Better. Can you guys tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of like, along with everybody else, just figuring out what this is. I mean, I got an email from my mom's partner, Michael, and he works at AIDS Vancouver, so he sent it on to me. They get lots of really interesting stuff there. But, I'm a huge fan of Dan Savage, and I'm really a huge fan of how he talks to young gay youth. And Sara, I use it as a resource to learn about what to say to young gay youth, because Sara and I didn't come out until we were graduated high school, and we also grew up in a really progressive household, and we grew up with really progressive parents, so I never felt like I had to hide my sexuality. And a lot of young people that come up to us do feel like they need to hide it, and Dan Savage gives great advice to kids like that, but usually saying like, are they paying for your college? Oh yeah? Then don't tell them. Like he encourages people to stay in the closet until it's safe to come out, and until you're not going to lose your college education or your free place to live or whatever. And anyway, I just think he's really brilliant. So I posted the site because I think it's an amazing place where they basically, reassure young, gay or alternative youth that it does get better. And Sara and I are a prime example of that. Like, we didn't have a really difficult time in junior high and high school, but we were really different and we were really alternative. And I see teenagers now that come to our shows and I can just see them from a mile away. I'm like, oh my God, those kids are just like we were. And there's a confidence and there's like, they're articulate and they're funny, but they're different, and that they're just dying to get out of there. And high school is necessary, and I encourage everyone to stay in school, but it does change. The second you graduate, you just realize like the world is your oyster. You can do anything you want. And it's just nice to not have to be a teenager anymore. But being a teenager was one of my favorite times. I mean, I look back on it very fondly now. So anyway, I love the site. I encourage people to go there. I think it's really amazing. I've spent like 20 minutes on the site so far, but I think it's great.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your time off.
Thanks you.
So much.